Think before you post. It's a phrase often said to young people and teaching them about the dangers of social media. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich, but is it time for parents to practice what they preach? One survey of U.S. moms and dads found more than 75% have posted videos, images, or stories of their children on social media.
An even larger percentage use their children's real names in those posts.
In today's digital world, it's been dubbed Sharenting, the act of parents oversharing online content that features their kids.
Reporter Heather Graff explains there's a growing concern it could put children at risk.
Your child's first birthday, their game-winning goal on the soccer field, even the joy of opening presents on Christmas morning. Scroll through social media and you'll see proud parents sharing photos, memories, and milestones of their kids.
It is such an impulse in our brains and society. You know, something good happens to you and you want to share it, and social is where we share things now.
So Sarah Gaines-Levy admits she was somewhat surprised when, in the midst of her first pregnancy, her husband suggested they refrain from posting images of their baby online.
He gave me kind of his argument, and a lot of it was about privacy and protection for our growing family, and I eventually found the argument to be pretty compelling.
That was back in 2018, and this now family of 5 has stuck to it. Today, Sarah rarely posts pictures of her kids on her Instagram page, but when she does, an emoji is used to cover their faces. Or sometimes she'll get creative with the framing.
Just gives you that added layer of security of, like, you know that your child's images aren't getting in the hands of anybody that you wouldn't want.
Would you encourage that?
Totally, absolutely.
Stephen Balcom leads the nonprofit Family Online Safety Institute that works to teach good digital parenting. And whether you've got toddlers or teens, he says moms and dads must understand the risks of so-called sharenting.
Sharenting obviously has the word share in it and a play on the word parenting. It's the oversharing by parents of their kids' personal lives online or through various different digital media.
Balcom explains that tendency to point, shoot, and share typically has unintended consequences.
Would you have been happy if your parents had posted all of this to the world? Their entire childhood has been documented on Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Just think about that.
And he says potentially embarrassing your child is just one aspect of it.
There's privacy concerns, there's safety concerns, and there's security concerns.
For example, a report out of the UK found parental oversharing could account for 2/3 of identity fraud by 2030, as criminals can potentially glean personal details from online posts.
When we think about identity theft, we think about our first pet's name or our mother's maiden name or all this type of information that is clearly available when parents overshare about their kids.
University of Florida law professor Stacy Steinberg has led much of the research done on sharenting here in the U.S. And as a mother herself, has chosen not to share her kids' faces or full names on social media, noting the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence poses yet another danger.
Images could be taken in context that we didn't mean to have them taken and could be shared in nefarious ways.
Separate from safety issues, but equally concerning, she says, is the question of financial fairness around content creation focused on kids. And in the age of influencers and family vloggers, Steinberg believes more legal protections are needed for minors featured frequently on their parents' money-making social media accounts.
Now that we see how families are profiting off of oversharing, it's getting more attention.
Attention in the form of legislation. In 2023, Illinois became the first state to update its child labor laws so that children of influencers are compensated, requiring those parents to set aside a portion of all income generated and give it to the child when they turn 18.
California, Minnesota, and Illinois have all signed bills into law.
Chris McCarty is currently in college, but at age 17 founded the organization Quit Clicking Kids, which tracks state-by-state progress on these types of proposals and advocates for their passage.
Being a part of Gen Z, growing up with social media in such a unique way, has really helped me see the need for legal reforms in this area. I don't think that family influencing started out as parents going, hey, let's exploit our kids. But I do think it's important that as this turns into a business for some of these families, that we're making sure that those kids are protected financially.
From Chris's perspective, the end goal would be legislation at the federal level on behalf of influencers' children.
And the primary reason for that is because it is still a patchwork.
But when it comes to your average, perhaps well-meaning parents with a social media account, experts say there are small steps families can take to better protect their kids, starting with privacy settings.
If you have a Facebook account, if you have an Instagram account, make it private. And then just allow the people that you know and love access to those.
There's also certain content they suggest all parents avoid, such as full names, dates of birth, and images in which your child is not fully clothed. And consider talking to your kids before you post anything about them.
As kids get older into grade school, we can involve them in the decision-making process, but we can start when they're young and talk about, is this something you want me to tell our family about? Is this something I can tell my friends about?
Finally, there's the no faces approach that Sarah Gaines Levy has now been doing for the last 7 years.
So as we sit here today, no regrets?
No, definitely not.
This mother of 3 still on board with keeping her kids offline.
I don't think that there's a one-size-fits-all answer. You're the only one who knows where that line is for you and for your family.
In recent years, we've started to see more parents, influencers, even celebrities opting to cover their kids' faces with emojis or not showing them at all on social media. But for parents who are posting about their kids, the other big advice we heard from experts is that you should periodically go back and do an inventory. Maybe even sit down with your child once they reach the teen years and look at your posts together. Perhaps there's an old photo from bath time or potty training, and if they're not comfortable with that picture, then delete it. Experts say it's a good habit to get into and a good way to build trust with your child.